Hello and welcome to another blog highlight video. I'm Isaiah Henkel with Cheeky Scientist. I love this week's article. The title is PhD hiring rates are up, but these 5 mistakes are keeping you jobless. That's the topic of the article, and the 5 things you need to read in the article will help you in your job search and will help you if you're struggling to get hired, even with the hiring market very, very high right now for PhDs. So just in the past 2 years, which is not a very long time if you think about it, especially if you've been in academia for 10, 20, 30 years, PhD hiring has gone up over 1,000%. That's a lot. More PhDs are being hired than ever before. In general, the hiring market is very good right now, but you might find yourself struggling to get hired. It's not because the job market's not up. It's not because PhDs are not being hired. It's not because you're not valuable. It's because you're invisible to employers. For example, like the first point talks about, you're focusing on academic job titles and academic words and phrases that employers, especially hiring managers and recruiters who usually don't have a PhD, will never use as a search term on LinkedIn, are not inputting into applicant tracking system software, the software that navigates and reads a lot of different resumes that are being uploaded. You have to start using the language of industry to get hired, and this article will show you how. Another great point in the article is you're probably valuing academia too highly. You want to get a job in industry, but you're allocating no time to your job search. You haven't prioritized it. You're still in the mindset that academia or your professor, your PI, your thesis committee, somebody else is taking care of you in your career. They're not. They're taking care of their own career, which is why you have been stuck in academia. You have to start taking your career into your own hands. What does this mean? It means that you start carving out time for your job search, prioritizing it. Think about it this way. If you don't want to stay in academia, why are you so afraid of upsetting your PI? Why are you prioritizing your thesis, your next paper, your grant, above your job search? At the very least, they should be equal. Now, you can have multiple priorities. It doesn't mean you don't do your work and don't finish the things you've set out to do, but you have to prioritize your job search just as high, especially if you want to go into industry and not come back to academia. Okay, so don't finish your thesis and be so focused on your thesis that, oops, you forgot to line up a job. Now you're unemployed. Don't be so focused on your postdoc or keeping your PI happy, getting that next paper or grant out, that you never transition into industry. This article talks about 3 other points you really need to account for if you want to get hired in industry, if you want to take advantage of the job market, which is the highest it's ever been for PhDs right now. As always, remember your value as a PhD and start thinking and acting like a successful industry professional.